All right, what's going on, guys? Today we want to talk about the power of holding companies. Now, I'm going to be taking some notes during this because I got some stuff I need to do. However, I am looking at getting the biggest tax refund in my life because I have a holding company structure. And what I'm going to do is once I go through that process, I'm going to put that information in the corporate papers. So, what I want to talk to you guys today about is starting businesses. And I'm going to say something, and I'm not going to mention any names, but there are many people on YouTube who will have you believe that you can start a business simply, easily, and be comfortable while you start this business. Have time for friends, the wife, the children, have time to take vacations, and make more money than you've ever made before. Right? And I am the antithesis of that because let me explain to you. Today was a really good day. I dropped some serious training in the corporate papers. And also, if you're not in the corporate papers, you've got 2 months of work to do once you join. Because there are many people who want the course to be done so they can kind of cherry pick and do it. It isn't designed that way. It is a step by step process to get you to be successful. And I'm reflecting on the training that was done today. Um, it was really, really good. Now, once again, if you join the corporate papers, okay, start with the directions. Where everyone that joins the corporate papers, there is a how to use, welcome to the corporate papers, how to use the corporate papers. Do not, if you join today, don't just go ahead and jump to the recent stuff. You'll trip yourself up. It's designed for beginners. It's designed for the person who's never had a business before. That's what it's designed for. And actually, it will help people who've been in business. And this is one of the things that I want to talk about starting a business from the beginning. Once again, like I said, many people on YouTube have you believing that you can start a business in a few weeks, quit your job, and that is some things that are not copacetic. These are um, not in your best interest. It's not in your best interest. And I have been ranting and railing because, I've dropped the apex predator thing because a lot of people want to believe in fantasies. A lot of people want to believe in pretty lies. And I decided to dig into my lane and to go hard as I can on creating the 50,000 corporate citizens. And this is one of the things I'm going to do. You're not like, all right, let me just go ahead and explain. I already have businesses. Right? And I I have yeah, I'm not going to Vid Summit this year. I got too much to do. Pretty much. Asher, you should check your dashboard. That should be resolved. Here's the thing. I think that we're adults, and I believe that I can speak openly and honestly with you guys. And one of the things that I want you guys to understand, and one of the things I want you guys to understand and appreciate, is the technical craft that goes into starting a business. And one of the things that you guys have got to understand is you're going to be uncomfortable. And that is one of the big things, because I've watched a lot of YouTube commercials. I watch a lot of offerings that people put out. And it's all predicated on you being comfortable. The last 5 months, I have been very uncomfortable. This car rental business it just calmed down this month. You know why it calmed down? I've learned how to manage this business. I've learned how to do the things that I needed to do. Now, Asher's situation is fixed. He's good to go. One of the things I want you guys to understand, if you buy in to becoming a corporate citizen, number one, you're not quitting your job. You're not quitting your job. Number two, you're going to have to do a lot of work, because here's the thing. And this is so, right now, this has happened. Recently, I've gone to 2 restaurants that were closed during business hours because people don't want to work. And I was watching a video of this girl who was talking about why she quit her job. She don't have another job. She quit her job. And she did a video about it. And to me, that is crazy, to quit your job and to not have another one lined up. But this is something that people are doing. People don't want to work. During my live streams, I predicted this was going to happen. That once you gave people a taste of sitting at home and not having to work, luxuries once tasted become necessities. And I went to a Waffle House, closed. I went to a Burger King, closed. Now the institution and the corporations will solve this problem, because they're going to start with these kiosks, and there will not be people at the counter. But right now, we're entering into the global reset. And let's go ahead and have this conversation. The global reset. The global reset is going to separate people. Like, I need to talk about this, because many people it's like, we're going through the global reset. We're going to have high unemployment. What good is it for me to start a business? And I'm about to tell you. For the people who are pushing, there will be no global reset. You will not be reset. But the people who work at Burger King, the people who work at Waffle House, the people who didn't want to show up and work, because I don't know why they didn't want to show up and work, but they didn't. Those people are going to be reset. They're going to be reset. I mean, it is crazy what is going on right now. People don't want to work. And you're seeing it. And once again, when there's a problem, corporate America will solve it. Right now, corporate America is just taking it on the chin. Congratulations on starting your trucking company. Congratulations. One of the things that you guys have got to understand is once you make the decision to become a corporate citizen, your whole life will change. Everything in your life will change. And what we're experiencing right now is temporary. This whole thing about people not going to work, the great resignation, everyone's quitting their job, these folks don't have a plan. They're not thinking beyond tomorrow. Just like this young lady who quit her job and doing videos on YouTube and talking about her feelings and talking about her workout routine and how she's doing cat sitting, and she has no real game plan. None. And this is going to backfire on her massively. We need to understand that people are living in a fantasy world. I mean, I watch these videos because I am fascinated at the number of people who are adults with responsibilities who will quit their job and not have another job lined up. This is blowing my mind. I'm like, it is blowing my mind. You're not getting caught up in a trick bag. Here's the people who are going to get caught up in the trick bag. People working at McDonald's, people working at Waffle House, anyone that doesn't have some serious soft skills, the type of skills where you can work. I just had a neighbor that just bought the house here. Both he and his wife work from home. They just bought this $950,000 house, and they both work from home. If you don't have those kind of skills, you're going to get reset. You're going to get reset. You're going to get reset. So one of the things that you guys have got to understand is the importance of work. You've got to understand the importance of work because, you know, everyone is in love with the holding company concept, but no one is in love with the work that goes into creating the holding company. Like I said, I've been uncomfortable for the last 4 months. This month, it's been, like today, I rented out 2 cars. Tomorrow, I'm renting out my last car that I have available tomorrow, and that's going to be gone. So after tomorrow, I got 3 wrecked cars, and I've got 3 in the shop. So that's 6 cars that I cannot rent. Actually, 2. That's 8 cars I cannot rent. 8 cars not available in the fleet, so I will have 22 cars rented out this weekend. And by the end of the month, I will get 4 of those cars back. I will get 2. I'll probably get 5 of those cars back. So that's one of the things. So what is happening is that people don't understand the game. Like as Tamiko said, people getting caught up in the trick bag. A lot of folks gonna get caught up in the trick bag. Today I was watching a video. Housing prices are starting to slip. I don't think we're gonna have a full-fledged crash, a repeat of 2006 through 12. I don't think we're gonna have that. But housing prices are starting to slip because these big box buyers, Zillow, Open Door, they bit off more than they can chew, and the market is starting to correct itself. BK from the Rockies, a lot of folks are reckless nowadays, leaving jobs without a plan and full of emotions. Pretty much. I mean, it blows my mind. Tamiko White, I agree 100%. The smart people are learning, very much so. Oh, we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. What is up? What is up? Uber, let me tell you what's going to happen with Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash. Right now, because so many people are at home, so many people don't want to do DoorDash, so many people don't want to do Uber, they don't want to do Lyft. These are really good right now, but this is a temporary situation. It's going to go back to normal. What's going on? You got your first check. Congratulations. I got a claim that I got to chase them on because I know for a fact the renter reported the claim and no one's contacted me, so I got to chase them on that. The government ain't gonna shut down. It's not gonna shut down. All right. Thank you, Marquise. Pimping Craigslist. Pretty much, pretty much. The housing market is softening for sure. The safety net on foreclosures is a big. I once this is kind of how I see it. What's happening with the real estate? I see foreclosures being a big issue, but I see that being a big protracted. I don't think the foreclosures thing is going to start to 2023. I could be wrong, but I don't think it's. And the economy right now is starting to correct. It is starting to come back to normal. Because, what people are saying is the economy is slowing down. It's not really slowing down. Let me explain to you what happened. Take Uber and Lyft drivers making six figures driving Uber and Lyft. That was a result of the pandemic. That was not a normal market force and marketplace dynamic. That was a result of people, once again, the great resignation. I don't want to drive. I don't want to work. I don't want to do any of this stuff. It was a result. And once the economy snaps back to normal, that's going to go away. And you're going to see, I'm going to explain to y'all, I'm moving into a high rise. I actually found a place that I like. And I'm going to tell you why I'm moving in this high rise. I'm going to tell you what I faced. A lot of the places that I looked at had low inventory. Now, I want you to think about this. Why are all these high-end apartments with low inventory? And I was talking to the leasing agent for the place I went in, and he said they had 22 people in the last month who sold their house and moved into the complex. You want to know why? This is what the smart money's doing. They're selling their house for the highest price they can, and they're going to rent for a few years and wait for the market to correct, and they're going to buy back in at a lower price. That's my plan. That was my plan all along. I rent for a year or two, then I buy back in. I'm not the only one thinking like that. It is softening. Like I said, during the Great Reset, prison stock is going to be a growth stock. Prison stock is going to be a growth stock. It's sad, but it will be. It will be. Prison stock is going to be a growth stock. Believe it or not, I think trucking's because trucking, as dynamic as trucking is, we all must depend on and use trucking. We can't get away from that. So I don't think trucking's going nowhere anytime soon. And what the marketplace is doing is separating the people from the people who made some bad decisions. And let's talk about bad decisions. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's like, because I've got to call them. I got to stay on them. So we'll see. So one of the things that you guys have got to understand and you've got to appreciate is right now there is so much opportunity, it's ridiculous. Because, all right, let's go ahead and talk about from a social standpoint. We have a lot of people who don't want to work. We're seeing it all over the place. They don't want to drive for Uber. They don't want to drive for Lyft. They don't want to work at McDonald's. They don't want to work at Waffle House. These places are literally shutting down because they don't have enough staff, right? At some point, this is going to correct. This is going to self-correct. But right now, there is so much opportunity for people who want to build something. Tamika White, you first of all, if you're going to have this discussion, this person must have some initiative and drive to begin with. That's the first thing. They need to have initiative and drive to begin with. If you're talking to the Pookies and the Ray Rays, they ain't hearing you. Let me go ahead and give you a great example of the foolishness that is going on in the marketplace right now. There are people with apartments. There are people who own houses. There are people with car payments. There are people with student loans. There are people who have financial responsibilities who are quitting their jobs without another job lined up. I don't know what has happened to society where this is. I don't really understand what's going on with these people, because there ain't no way in hell, if I was still in the workforce and I had financial obligations, I would quit my job and not have another one lined up. But you could find YouTube video after YouTube video after YouTube video where people talking about personal happiness, spending time with friends, spending time with their husband or their wife. And I'm just sitting there like, what are you gonna do, baby boy? What are you gonna do? So another thing that I want you guys to understand, and I really want you to get into, is in this space where there are so many people who don't want to be productive, who don't want to build nothing, who don't want to start businesses, you're going to have less competition this go round than ever before. Because what I'm seeing is a lot of people have checked out. A lot of people have checked out. Yes, your YouTube channel should be a separate YouTube channel. Right now, this is happening in Buckhead, and I am moving to Buckhead. I'm moving kind of on the edge of Buckhead, just before Brookhaven. And crime is going through the roof. Like right now, if you wanted to start a security business, security guards, surveillance, that type of stuff, that's going to be a boom business for the next 5 years. Man, get those student loans paid off as quick as you can, man. They will hold you back. They will hold you back. One of the things I'm doing is I'm not taking on any undue debt. If I cannot make money with that debt, I am not taking on any debt right now. Nothing. Just kind of shoring up for the future, because like I have a feeling. Like right now, a lot of businesses that are heavily leveraged, that have a lot of debt, they're going to shut down. They're going to shut down. This is what's going to happen with these highly leveraged trucking companies. They're going to shut down. And what's going to happen once they leave the marketplace, new players are going to enter the marketplace. Because see, that freight still got to move. Someone's going to move that freight. All right, cool. No debt, no debt. I think there's a ton of money to be made in the next 10 years, and I'm going to tell you why. During this great reset, we've gone through a social process. Anyone who's 45 to 50 could never ever fathom quitting their job and not having one. We have a bunch of 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds who did just that. They quit their job. They're seeking fulfillment and personal happiness. Now, how long is that going to last once their financial life falls down on their ears? How long do you think all that's going to last? It's not going to last very long. And this is one of the craziest cycles I've ever seen in the United States history, where we have a large segment of people quitting their jobs without a plan. No plan whatsoever. Just quitting their job, and let's just pray to God, Jesus is going to take care of me. Jesus is going to take care of me. But in this space, since there's so many people who, number one, they don't want to work. I did I watched a bunch of YouTube videos of these guys offering products and services. And they're selling them like this. This one guy, he comes up, hey, let me see. Can I do it? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can do it. More than likely, he has prop money as well. This guy's like, $100,000. I can give you this $100,000. I can teach you how to make it in a month. All right. And I'm just sitting there. The stuff is sold on ease. You can do it simply, and it can be done very fast. Oh, I think crime's going to be stupid, Tamiko. I think it's going to be stupid. So they're selling you comfort, okay? They're telling you that you can make all of this money. You don't have to change. You don't have to do anything. You can just start making all this money, right? And here's the thing, and this is the space. They probably do have a few people who are successful. But what's going to happen is someone who's in close proximity, someone who's already set up, who just needs a few missing pieces, they're going to take this course and they're going to take off, because that's going to be the missing pieces. But the vast majority of people who take these courses are going to fail. Well, Garjon, you're going to have to work, man. You got to work. You got to work. The eviction crisis is going to be real, man. It's going to be real. And once again, housing market is softening. I suspect it's going to take another year for all this to shake out. It's going to take a year for these folks who are quitting their jobs with no plan for them to realize they made a mistake. I think the landlords are about to move into overdrive. I think the landlords are about to get serious, because here's the thing. Many of the landlords did not take the forbearance because that would limit their options. I think when you're in forbearance, you cannot apply for another mortgage. If you're someone in getting real estate and your lifeline is getting mortgages, you can't be in forbearance. I think, let me tell you what I got. I've got 3 handguns, and I've got a shotgun for a house, and I've got an assault rifle. That's what I got. All right, Dante J, do your thing, man. Do your thing. No, I'm not getting in leverage buyouts. Nope, Donnie, it won't. I mean, seriously, like right now, it hasn't gotten, like this is something that was on Nextdoor the other night. Someone was walking around one of my neighbor's driveway with a rifle slung over their shoulder, just walking around their driveway. Don't even know who these folks. Oh, that's another thing. For everyone that joins the corporate citizens, corporate papers, I'm not doing a Facebook group. I was thinking about doing a Facebook group, but I kind of hate Facebook groups. So I'm doing a Discord. So one of the things that you guys should be well aware of is during this, let's call it this 5 year time period. If you start a business right now, let me go ahead and give you the sauce, as they like to say. Number one, your debt load should be minimum. Like, all right, if you're drowning in debt, it's going to be really hard for you to start a profitable business. You want to know why? Because you don't have no money. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you got to get that debt situation under control. Maybe start a service business, something that help you make more money to service that debt. But this 5 year block from now into the next 5 years, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026. This is going to be a remarkable period of time for people to build, create, and establish brands. I know it seems like on one side it's like very, very bad. But once again, so many people have checked out. There's so much shortages going on. Bus systems have canceled in my schools, sister schools, grocery store, restaurants are closing because I'm seeing this. And in this space, it's an opportunity. Because, first of all, let's go ahead and just kind of break it down. Look at who is not working and look at who is working. There was a study that was done, and it tracked kids with IQs of 140. 140 plus is genius level IQ. And they tracked all these kids across the board. And there were kids who came from impoverished circumstances with 140 genius level IQ. And there were kids that came from wealthier circumstances. Their parents had money. Guess which group of kids did well in life? The kids who came from money. The kids who had the genius level IQ, genius level, 140 plus, continue to languish because here's the thing. It was about the environment. It was about their environment. So one of the things that you want to do is work on your environment for your children. Dang. Home invasion? That's terrible. That's terrible, man. All right, Donnie. Yeah, I just hope to God I never have to shoot anyone. But if it comes down to that situation, I'm prepared. I live in Los Angeles, and now the thugs, robbers, and carjackers are in Beverly Hills. I'm in Lenox. Like Lenox, you cannot if you're a kid, you can't go in the mall without your parents. I think we're headed in for it depends upon where you're positioned and what you're doing. Oh man, that's crazy. New York City's a war zone right now. Makes sense. A lot of people. Scripted Days is an online course and it's part of the B School. It's part of the corporate papers. What's going on? Hunter Crafts, Hustle the Kid. Well, first of all, let me go ahead and kind of explain what you got to do, Hunter Craft. First of all, you've got to do direct response marketing using your TikTok channel. You've got to figure out what these people will buy. That's something, because this is the training that, week 7, how to get customers. That you got a lot of work to do, because there's not one thing I can tell you, because one of the things you got to do is to run tiny experiments and figure out what your TikTok followers will spend money on. So you got a lot of work to do. I know a couple of real estate investors that were playing with forbearance to make other investments when the bank said no new mortgages. Like I said, you can't get a new mortgage when you're in forbearance. That right there cut a lot of folks out. Hey, in the beginning, it's rough. I mean, this is one of the craziest environments, because, today, matter of fact, I can actually show you. Let me get in here. All right. All right. So this right here, well, like I said, this is week 7, direct response marketing in the primer. Week 7, direct response method, why you need in business to get real marketplace data, time to get started. Direct response method, running tiny experiments. Data points, data sets, how long should you run your experiments. Data sets, how to find hidden markets in the main markets. That is huge. That is huge. Data points and data sets, how to accept your data, track it, and use it to make informed decisions. Data points, data sets, how to set up and use real marketplace information for profit. Now, this right here is the sauce. This stuff right here is the sauce. Because, for someone who just asked me, how do they monetize? This is the process you got to go through, man. This is the process. Melrose Avenue is this rich area where fancy stores and store owners are getting shot, beaten, and robbed in broad daylight. Rich people walk into their cars and getting their Rolex snatched off their wrist. Wow. I can believe it. I can believe it. All right, yeah. Hunter Crafts, you want to go through that section that I went through, because you got to start running tiny experiments. Thanks for Brooklyn Wayne. Thanks for $5 super chat. Oh, data is everything, man. Data is everything. Data is everything. Because here's the sauce, so to speak. Like what I've done. Let me go ahead and talk about hidden markets. HireCar's been around for 7 years. And until I started running my experiments, because I actually talk about it in the training, the BMW thing was a hidden market. A lot of folks didn't know about it. It was completely hidden. I found hidden markets on Craigslist. I found hidden markets on Facebook Marketplace. I found hidden markets on YouTube. So there's a lot of hidden markets, but that's the training you want to get into because everyone else is talking about how easy business is, how much money you can make, and you can only work 2 hours a week or 3 hours a week. And you have all this free time to go to have fancy lunches, hang out with your friends. And I'm just sitting there like, unless all your friends are doing the same thing, how are they going to have time to hang out with you? How are they going to have time to hang out with you? You know, one of the things that I find to be really interesting because I feel for the next 5 years, if you get it in gear, this is the time where you can become a millionaire in the next 5 years with everything that's going on. Selling livestock is a business, but man, that you messing around with old money when you get the livestock. Because you got these generational farms who have these herds of cattle. It's going to be hard to compete with just brand new. So I'm going to give you some hot business tips. Security is going to be huge. Check this out. Farming. Yes, farming is going to be huge. If you got 10, 20, 30, 40 acres of farmable land, that's going to be money in the future. That's going to be money in the future. Farming, security, and IT. Anything that has to do with the cloud and IT security is going to be hot for the next 10 years. 10 years. 10 years. That's going to be wide open for the next decade. Cybersecurity, IT, security, physical security, farming. It's going to be super, super hot. It's going to be crazy. And this is the thing because we have a segment of society that doesn't want to work. I mean, it's kind of funny. It's kind of like you're in a football game, right? And the other team, all its starters like, hey, we ain't gonna play. The starters go sit on the bench and they send out the second string, the third string, and the fourth string. That's kind of what's happening right now. Farming is going to be huge. Farming, because right now people are becoming more informed about what they eat, and everyone wants organic. One of the things I do is go to a place that's farm to food table. That's kind of like where I eat at Buttermilk, I eat at Hal's, I eat at the Atlanta Fish Market. And since I've started eating better, my health has improved. So farming, growing stuff, creating stuff, it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. And anything online, like, so some of the stuff I'm going to do for the corporate papers is I'm going to put in the service business module. But like right now, I'm building it out. Like the first section, how to set up your corporate structure. And what I'm going to do, what I do is set up the Discord to answer questions during the week. And we're going to have one live training. This is what we're going to do. Monday through Friday, I'm going to drop training in there. Like this is week 7. Next week could be week 8. And we're going to drop training in there. And I feel that the training, how to get customers, how to run tiny experiments, how to flesh out what your customers want, how to flesh that out is where the sauce is where the real money is. Go a few live auctions to get your few old boots out. Hey, I don't think America's a wrap, but I do agree that you can live anywhere and make money pretty much with the internet. I don't really know of any vegan restaurants. I know there's the Slutty Vegan, and there's like a vegan restaurant in the West End. Cleaning services. Like, I don't think America's a wrap. But what I do believe and what I do accept is there's so much opportunity right now. And you've got segments of people. You got a pocket of people, let's call them the employed, who are like, I'm sick of my job. I'm quitting my job. I want personal freedom. I want fulfillment. I want happiness. So I'm quitting my job to go for that. But they have no real game plan. Like, I could see, if you got a job that sucks, you quit your job, you get a better job. I could see that. But to quit your job and to not have another job lined up is madness to me. Tell them again, Saucepan. Tell them again. I'm the only one that's, because here's the thing. This is why I have the breakdown for holding companies. And like, once I'm looking at, let me see, I can't find it, but I paid like $70,000 in federal taxes. So we've got October, November, December. So I'm gonna be paying like $100K in federal taxes. I believe that this Mac Daddy Autos is going to get me the largest tax refund I've ever gotten in my life. And once again, as I grow this thing and I drop this information, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start another company in 2021. I've got so many tax deductions right now. It's stupid. You know those 2 drones I bought and lost? Tax deductions. I get to write off those drones. I got the paperwork to prove it. I mean, people are living all over the world, Tamiko. They're living everywhere. All right, No Limit 3, appreciate that. The people with no work ethic will definitely be left behind. Definitely, 100%. I mean, once again, we're living here. Here's the thing: people have been living in suspended animation for the last almost 2 years, with this pandemic, with the stimulus check, and now the real estate market is softening. Employers are having a real hard time finding low-wage workers. I don't think the great resignation that's happened with the cybersecurity people, the IT people, entrepreneurs, I don't see that happening with them. I see it happening with regular folks. And one of the things that you have to do is to remove yourself from being a regular person. Because I'm telling you, there's going to be so much opportunity, so much opportunity. Sunday, oh, you must be in a different time zone because, yes, we will be doing the live training Sunday at 5 p.m. Working on that, working on that. I mean, I know someone who's going to move to Mexico. I mean, there's so many things you can do. Well, one of the things that people, I know some people who are doing real estate work, they're having a nightmare getting contractors because the contractors can't get people to work. Everything you said was going to happen at the beginning yeah, I saw this coming. Here's the thing. Why do these little petty scams continue to work? The same scam they've been running for the last 100 years. Why do they keep working? Because human nature has not changed. And one of the things I'm seeing, because I'm setting up the corporate papers to be really different, to be honest, to be open, No, you're not quitting your job in a few weeks. No, you got to work really hard. No, you're not going to have work-life balance. But if you devote the next 2 to 5 years, the rest of your life can be remarkable. That's how I'm selling the corporate papers because, like, look what I just went through. Look what I just went through with this car rental business. For the first 3 months, the car business kicked my ass. It was like hell. It was a complete shit show. I had all kinds of stuff. And now it's like, it's more predictable. Oh yeah, I will be doing some Lost King stuff. What's so good about a holding company? I'm gonna give you the game. You can create a business in a holding company structure that benefits you in a way that will blow your mind. Let's say you have business A over here making a ton of money and you're looking at paying a whole bunch of taxes. You could divert some of the money from business A to start a new business and create deductions and tax benefits. Like I'm telling you, January 21st, I'm starting a new company. I'm starting a new company. We will see. I get into, yes, actually, that was part of week 7 training, how to find a hidden market. That was part of the training this week. So yeah, because hidden markets, like let me tell you, my first hidden market, my first main street. Well, it wasn't a hidden market. I actually go into this in the course. The storage auction game, that wasn't a hidden market. That was a market I developed. Big difference. It didn't exist. When I used to be at storage auctions, I used to hear all the people who would be like, sometimes people be in the office and they would just kind of follow us out there and they had no clue what was going on. It's like, why they're paying so much money for all this junk? I remember there was this little girl, well, young lady. She was really young. I don't know how old. And, she was in the office renting the unit and we all went out and she just followed us, right? Because she was curious. And she saw me buy this 10 by 30 and I spent like 600, almost 700 bucks. And she looked at me and she said, "Are you crazy? All that is junk. It's literally falling out of the unit." And I pulled her aside and I was like, "Let me show you something." And then I was like, "Get on your knees." And she said, "What? Get on your knees." She got on her knees and I got down there. And then I showed her the car tires. There was a car in that unit. And she was like, "Oh my God, there's a car in the unit?" And it was a Corvette. It was a vintage Corvette that I was able to sell for $30,000. What did I pay for the unit? Almost 700. But I knew that Corvette was in there. So when people don't know this stuff and they don't understand, they're unseasoned. And that's one of the things I'm going to do with the corporate papers. I'm going to season up a lot of people. Because one of the things I want you guys to really understand, there's so much opportunity right now. There is so much opportunity. It is ridiculous or redonkulous. There's so much opportunity. And one of the things that we're going to get into, because every business that I start, I'm going to go through the whole business process in the corporate papers, on the Discord. And another thing that we're going to do, like, once again, if you're on the fence about the corporate papers, you need to get off the fence. Because one of the things that is going to happen is if you don't understand and know what is going on in the world of business, your chances, like if you're a doctor or a high performing attorney or high up in the IT, you're not going to be reset. But if you're just a regular person with a regular job, the chances of being reset are very high. I mean, I got, like I don't do the store trucks and stuff. That's why I don't talk about it. But there's so many things I got at those units. Uh, I cannot talk about being an investor because I'm not an investor. I don't see myself being an angel investor. I don't see myself. I would be considered an accredited investor because when I was looking at the apartment complex, that's kind of what they were talking to me, and they said that would be amateur money because I never owned an apartment complex before. There's a lot goes into it, but I don't really see myself being an angel investor. I see myself being a professor or a teacher. Good Lord. It's not 5K. If you go ahead and get in, you can get in for 2,500. And also, what's going to happen is I'm going to change the payment plan. Like the $200 per month payment plan is going to go away, and I'm going to move it up to 250. A lot of changes going to happen October 1st, because once again, I'm working on this. Well, once again, there's not a lot of people who actually have a holding company. Here's the reason that I'm one of the few people. I have multiple companies, and I know the power of linking those companies together in the holding company structure. It's the saying the things you can do, and I'm gonna be talking about it. Dang, I had to make a trip to. That's crazy, James. That's crazy. Not surprised. People are trying to get you there. Oh yeah, we're gonna get into some real stuff because, guys, I'm like about to start talking about some other stuff because essentially I've set up a lot of older videos to broadcast because I'm getting ready to change it up once again. I'm getting ready to change it up again, and I am moving October 15th. That's when I'm moving. Well, that's when I gotta be out of here. Gotta be out of here. So, um, we're going to get into a lot of stuff, and I'm going to be having these conversations with y'all about the power of a holding company because one of the things that so many people don't understand is, and this is something that Gary Vee talks a lot about, being a technician and being a practitioner. And I want more people to be technicians and practitioners because if you were in early, we've already had those conversations. You've been graduated into the corporate papers. So we're going to be talking about some stuff. Sunday, we're going to be going over week 7 training. And once again, if you join the corporate papers tonight, start at the beginning. Do not just like, oh, you can show up at the live training and stuff. I can expect that. But you got a lot of work to do. Man, that's funny. I know someone that has property in Mexico. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. But one of the things that we will be getting into is building real businesses. I'm going to start a credit repair agency. Why am I starting a credit repair agency? So many of these people's credit got jacked up during this mess. It's going to be crazy. Um, Earn your leisure is not my kind of cup of tea. They talk about a lot of stuff that I don't believe in. I am not a big believer in crypto, even though some people have, well, they bet their firstborn on it. Probably my my viewpoints probably would not go well over there at Earn Your Leisure. So probably not. Probably not. Because I've seen some of their videos, and here's my big problem with Earn Your Leisure and all these other people is they tell you that you can do these businesses and they tell you can make all this money, but they don't tell you the reality of starting a business. Before I came on YouTube talking about my nightmares with the car rental business, who else was putting out this type of content? Was I the only one that was going through this? No, I wasn't. I was just the only one that's talking about it. So, well, nope, I'm not getting the penthouse because odd enough as it is, all of the penthouses are rented. And essentially what I'm moving to the 14th floor. I got a 3-bedroom and I will be in proximity to get a penthouse when someone moves out. So that's kind of the plan. Because believe it or not, high-end real estate like that is not easy to find. It's not easy to find at all. And once I toured this property, they have 280 apartments. They only had 6 that are coming available from now to December. 6 out of 280. So once again, pretty much, Mastermind J, pretty much. Pretty much. So once again, if you're not in the corporate papers, go ahead, get in tonight, and I'm going to teach you how to set up a holding company strategy. I'm going to teach you how to set up operating companies. And the holding company stuff, that's like icing on the cake. What we're getting into this month and next month, how to get customers. And there are many people on YouTube that will tell you getting customers is easy. They got this super simple funnel. They can find all of these big ticket customers, right, left and right. And the reality is not so much. But I'm going to teach you how to get customers for a service business. I'm going to teach you how to get customers for, one of the things that I have done is I've started multiple businesses from scratch. So I know what it is to start a business from scratch. Now, HireCar is partially a template business that I'm introducing my how to start a business from scratch attributes into. But I will teach you how to start a business from scratch, which is totally different than throwing some stuff on Amazon, which is totally different than throwing some stuff on Etsy or eBay. And we'll get into all of that stuff because if you've noticed, I changed the name of the channel to The Corporate Citizen. And notice I don't talk about Kevin Samuels. I don't talk about, I leave all of the saucy, urban stuff alone because there's plenty of channels that talk about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm just going to be talking strictly about business and how to start businesses, how to create businesses, how to set businesses up, how to market businesses, how to brand businesses. That's all I'm going to be talking about here at the Corporate Papers. So that's all I got for you guys. Go below, get the link, get into the Corporate Papers, and I will be sending out the email once I see some more people join in. Let me go ahead and talk about, I'm going to start a credit repair agency. I'm probably going to start selling cars. I'm going to start an apparel company, and we will see. There might be something else. But that's all I got for you guys. The link to join the Corporate Papers is below. I will talk to you guys later.